From arrogant owners who clashed with Chef Ramsay,
Then wake up! You wake up, idiot!
to gifted kitchen talents whose food was so good it made Ramsay clean his plate,
I fed Gordon Ramsay. And he cleaned his plate.
these are the most loved versus the most hated owners on Kitchen Nightmares. Starting with, Amy and Sammy Bizaglo didn't just become controversial on Kitchen Nightmares, they became a turning point in the show's history. Their Scottsdale restaurant, Amy's Baking Company, was already drowning in bad reviews.
I've never waited this long for one pizza.
What is the problem with it?
Like the Caesar is this? I don't know.
Angry former employees and customer complaints.
I don't have people sending things back to me.
You
The
don't know,
training-
Amy.
From the moment Gordon Ramsay walked through the door, it was clear this wasn't a normal fix. Inside the kitchen, Amy insisted she was a world-class pastry chef trained in Europe, dismissing any suggestion that her desserts were frozen or that the pizza was overcooked.
These are store-bought crap frozen
They're
ravioli.
not crap, and they're delicious.
Pizza is undercooked.
That's not true.
Sammy, meanwhile, openly admitted to taking waitstaff tips, something Ramsay immediately called unacceptable.
I just found out something pretty major. Miranda, the young girl,
Yeah.
you don't give her tips.
No.
Sammy,
Yeah.
you cannot take servers' tips.
The tension spilled over fast, and moments later, a server was fired on camera for simply trying to confirm an order with Amy.
I'm talking to you, Katie. Okay. Katie, listen to me when I'm speaking to you. Do not walk away from me. You don't work here anymore, okay? She's like, I set a table. She said, are you sure? Are you my boss?
And even customers were shouted at instead of being listened to about their complaints.
You f yourself out, you motherfucker! If you touch I fucking you go.
When the food was sent back, Amy snapped, insisting that customers eat what she makes or leave.
The customer is not always right. Choose another pizza or nothing. And I'm not here to take shit from anybody.
But even though Amy and Sammy had some of the worst attitudes, Ramsay still offered help and attempted his usual fixes: simplify the menu, improve service flow, and reset leadership. However, every attempt was rejected.
Did you taste it? You didn't taste that one.
Amy shouted down criticism while Sammy refused responsibility. Both insisted the problem was everyone else but them.
She can't take criticism. Why is that?
Ask her that question.
Ask her.
I have the same problem for that. Yeah.
She told me.
Yes, it's worse, yes.
Could you tell your wife that? Because I don't think
yes,
she
it
knows.
is. It is.
I need a drink of water.
And the craziest moment came when Amy had a meltdown during dinner service, screaming in the kitchen while Sammy threatened customers.
Call the police.
Pay the money. No, I want the money from him.
I am calling the police. You guys are fucking
No, it's
crazy.
not calling the police.
I know, but hey, you're not touching him. Get away.
Motherfucker, you are.
Fucking piece
You
of
piece
shit.
of shit.
You are a little pansy. Get
Amy,
out of here. Don't you
yeah.
ever come back here. You little weenie. Keep walking.
You.
For the first and only time in Kitchen Nightmares history, Gordon Ramsay walked out, stating flatly that the owners were beyond his help.
Can't help people that can't help themselves and cannot ever take 1 ounce of criticism.
What happened after the show was just as intense but quieter. The episode aired in 2013 and instantly went viral, giving Amy and Sammy internet infamy. Online viewers especially had a lot of hate to go around these two. A viewer recounts saying, "I can remember the Kitchen Nightmares episode. They were two of the most vile narcissistic people I've ever watched." Another summarized what everyone else was thinking. They seem like the worst possible people imaginable. Instead of reflecting, they responded to online criticism with a long, aggressive post accusing customers and Ramsay of sabotage. Sammy said, "This time from Kitchen Nightmare, I want money. They make so much money because of us, and Gordon Ramsay tried to bury me alive. I will bury him first. I'll bury him first and your Kitchen Nightmare also. You did it on purpose. You set me up, and this is what you did. You tried to bury us alive. You didn't do it yet, and I wouldn't let nobody to do it." Amy backs up her husband by saying, "We were made to look like the most psychotic lunatic people in the universe. After watching Kitchen Nightmares, I see all the crazy, but I don't see any of the good." However, the backlash only grew, and Amy's Baking Company eventually closed later that year. They sold the restaurant, saying construction approved by the former landlord caused the problem. That led to a sewer-like odor seeping into the restaurant, making the location impossible to keep running. On their Facebook page, Amy and Sammy said there would be a grand reopening, but that never materialized. Over time, the spotlight faded. Reports later confirmed the couple separated, and Amy returned to baking on a much smaller, private scale. She continues to post baking content on social media. Their legacy isn't about food, but refusal. The refusal to listen, adapt, or accept reality. and that's why they remain the most hated owners the show has ever seen. While this duo spiraled into chaos, the next owners took a very different turn. Colleen Clique and Naomi Bledsoe didn't become fan favorites on Kitchen Nightmares because their restaurant was perfect. It was far from it. In fact, Classic American in West Babylon, New York was barely holding on when Gordon Ramsay arrived. Heavy debt, sloppy food, a massive outdated menu, and a stressed out team had turned their dream into a grinding struggle. But what made viewers warm to them wasn't polished cooking. It was honesty and heart.
We're family, but we have a business to run, okay?
Colleen and Naomi weren't strangers to the place. Both had worked there as waitresses before buying it from their boss years earlier. They took on nearly $700,000 in debt for the business and property and tried to make it work. A lack of experience, unclear leadership, and poor systems saw supplies run out, tickets handwritten because the POS system was broken, and dishes like frozen calamari and bland burgers shipped out as specialties.
So when the tickets come on, where's your tab go?
They were originally coming out here. This broke, so now they handwrite the ticket.
We used to have a computer, but somebody spilled coffee all over the register.
How is everything?
Bad.
Ramsay saw it all in their Season 4 Episode 2 visit. It was defined by struggling service, chaos in the kitchen, and owners who were worn down, frustrated, and scared of losing their livelihood.
I need soup cups. Can you please wash them out?
There's nothing
There's 2 in there right now.
Oh my God.
Instead of shutting down or pretending everything was fine, Colleen and Naomi faced the criticism head-on. When Ramsay stripped the menu, installed a working system, and redesigned the space, they listened instead of arguing.
And honest, okay? The menu's hideous in a dining room that's miserable. The food's depressing, and you've got the audacity to call it classic American.
Though there were tense moments, like when Colleen broke down,
It's not that I don't try.
And I have not given up.
Naomi admitted she was a bit too lenient with the staff.
Why are you such a pushover?
Because they're my family.
They're not, though. Your family's at home. And this is your business, and the difference is night and day. You have to change.
I have to work on that.
And the team even ran out of menus on relaunch night.
Can I have spicy tender, appetizer, and burger?
There is no more.
But they didn't back away. Instead, they steeled themselves and rallied. When the kitchen finally delivered solid service on relaunch night, it wasn't just better food, but a sign that they could do this.
How do we like everything?
Absolutely delicious.
I'm glad.
We'll come back for more.
All right. Okay.
After Ramsay left, Classic American enjoyed a brief resurgence. Customers were curious to try the revamped menu, and the community seemed to embrace the new direction.
I love this computer. I love it.
Business is booming.
We will be back, I guarantee that.
Classic American eventually closed its doors in December 2013, 3 years after Ramsay's intervention. They announced the closure on their website and continued offering catering services for a time, but the restaurant itself was no longer sustainable despite the improvements. Colleen and Naomi didn't leave as celebrities. They left with respect, earned by accepting criticism, fixing their flaws, and genuinely trying to change, which is why fans still praise them as some of Kitchen Nightmare's most loved owners. One fan writes, "The owners take every fact and criticism without being so defensive and arrogant. They deserve Gordon's help, but especially they deserve the success." Another viewer praises the cooperation of the staff. He says, "I like how honest the staff is. They really wanted to have the problems fixed. I think this was one of the best episodes of Kitchen Nightmares." And while these patterns made growth seem achievable, one owner proved ego could ruin everything. Joe Nagy walked into Kitchen Nightmares already convinced he knew better than everyone else, including Gordon Ramsay.
Who you think you're talking to? This is the finest of the finest.
As the owner and head chef of Mill Street Bistro in Norwalk, Ohio, Joe touted his restaurant as a fine dining destination with elk dishes sourced from his own farm.
We didn't get this elk from UPS. It comes from our ranch. It's fresh, sustainable, and local. We really are from farm to fork.
But what made him one of the most disliked owners in the show's history was beyond the menu. It was his unshakable arrogance and refusal to take criticism seriously.
Is there enough bread for dinner right now, or do you want me to do that part of the thinking too? Your responsibility that the bread doesn't taste stale.
The Season 6 episode show Joe defending everything from bland food to confusing restaurant rules with the same confidence.
Elk medallions.
There was nothing wrong with that elk.
Chewy. Bland. Raw in the middle.
You wanted a medium rare.
Oh.
When Ramsay criticized an elk dish, Joe doubled down, lecturing Ramsay about meat aging instead of listening.
Next course. Elk quesadilla. Dry, rubbery, disgusting out that should go nowhere near a quesadilla.
Staff were frustrated and open about it, and Ramsey eventually showed Joe through a security camera what employees were actually saying about him behind his back, revealing deep resentment and a communication breakdown in the restaurant.
There's no formalities here. This is wide open. Amy.
I think Joe is at fault for the lack of business because of the way he berates the staff in front of the customers. It turns people off and turns people away.
Then Ramsey tried to help. He overhauled the menu, introducing dishes that matched the bistro concept more closely, and convinced Joe to stay out of the kitchen so a new chef could run service smoothly.
When was the last time you had a burger on the menu?
We've never.
Never. And as a bistro, yeah, why would you not have a burger on the regular menu?
For a night, that worked. The restaurant delivered a more consistent service with fewer mistakes.
Aha, we have some food.
Just going.
Very good.
It's like perfect.
But once Ramsey left, Joe reverted to old habits. He returned to the kitchen, reinstated his own menu ideas, and ignored much of the structure Ramsey tried to put in place. After the episode aired in 2013, Mill Street Bistro briefly held on, but the underlying issues didn't disappear. Yelp and TripAdvisor reviews turned predominantly negative, with many calling out the owner's attitude and poor food quality. By December 2013, Joe had renamed and redecorated the restaurant as Maple City Tavern in an attempt to start fresh, but reviews remained poor and business continued to struggle. Joe's response to the show extended beyond the kitchen. In January 2014, he sued Kitchen Nightmares producers, claiming that filming damaged his restaurant and that equipment and ingredients were missing. The lawsuit was settled for about £900, which was around $1,500 at the time. But the legal battle added fuel to the public's perception that Joe wasn't accepting help. He was fighting back instead. Joe Nagy's episode remains one of Kitchen Nightmares' most replayed and debated because it highlights a stubborn refusal to change. Not just kitchen mistakes, but a leadership style that kept pulling the restaurant backward even when help was offered. Where one owner clashed at every turn, another won hearts by just being cheerful and humble. Mama Cherry, whose real name is Charita Jones, remains one of the most loved figures in Kitchen Nightmares history. This is because through the challenges, her heart never failed.
Soul food! Can I hear you all say it? Soul food!
As the owner of Mama Cherry's Soul Food Shack in Brighton, England, she walked onto the show with something rare, which included real talent, real humility, and zero ego.
Charita, Gordon, good to see you.
Nice to see you.
This is small and quaint.
Welcome. It's quaint, it's cozy.
I'll say.
It's like
walking into your front lounge.
Thank you.
From the start, Gordon Ramsay could tell this wasn't a case of laziness or denial. The food was good. The flavors were bold.
Thank you. Bloody delicious.
Thank you.
And you know what?
Thank you.
I thought it was going to be really spicy, but it's toned down and it was spot on.
However, the problem was everything around it. The restaurant was badly located, cash-strapped, and struggling to attract steady foot traffic.
It's definitely a shack on the outside anyway. Fucked up caravan. Is this it?
And Cherry wasn't defensive about it. She admitted she was drowning, both financially and emotionally, and that honesty set her apart immediately.
It's great at the weekends, but somehow we've discovered that we're in a hole. We're just in this hole, a financial hole that we can't claw our way out of.
One of the most memorable moments came when Ramsay tasted her food and said it was so good that he was reminded of home. Judging from how outspoken Chef Ramsay is, that praise wasn't exaggerated.
It actually made me feel like I was back at Mum's for the first time. And having some home cooking. It was very good.
Don't get me crying.
Unlike many owners who argue with Ramsay's palate, Cherry listened closely, asked questions, and wanted to learn. There was no shouting match, no power struggle, just mutual respect.
You're far too soft.
I know.
You really are far too soft.
Well,
it stops now.
I know.
What really won viewers over was her openness. She spoke candidly about her fears, her financial pressure, and how much the restaurant meant to her personally.
I'm not going to lose my business.
Like a fan says, she's a beautiful woman. Her soul is gorgeous and so bright. This episode had me smiling the whole time. Another viewer also expresses his love for Mama Cherry by saying, "Bless that woman, would love to eat at a restaurant." When Ramsay pushed her, it wasn't to break her. Rather, it was an attempt to protect her talent from being buried by poor business decisions. And she took that guidance seriously.
It's killing the business. I want to look at restructuring the menu,
Okay.
making it a little bit shorter,
Okay.
tweaking the portion size,
All right.
having less come back.
60% are bones come back.
Mama Cherry's Soul Food Shack eventually closed in 2009 with large debts, but it wasn't framed as a failure. She firmly shut down the rumors, saying the closure had nothing to do with Gordon Ramsay and crediting Kitchen Nightmares for launching her global recognition and success, adding that she wouldn't be where she is without the show. Fans remember Mama Cherry not for chaos or conflict, but for warmth, skill, and sincerity. She proved that sometimes Kitchen Nightmares isn't about fixing food alone, but recognizing talent before it's lost. And many viewers can't help but shower praises on the incredible kitchen owner, like one viewer who said, "This is the actual best episode I ever saw. No big happening. Just a nice, cool restaurant improving and showing huge success. This is an episode for the soul, I might add." And this other viewer had this to say, "This has to be the only restaurant in Kitchen Nightmares which was actually clean, had good food, and the staff actually knew what they were doing and didn't start fights." Just when you thought all owners could win Chef Ramsay and their customers over, some would make you wonder how the doors even stay open. David Leonard, co-owner of Black Pearl in New York City, quickly became one of Kitchen Nightmare's most hated figures, and it wasn't just because of the food.
Out of the three owners, I like David the least because his ego tends to get in the way of a healthy atmosphere.
Don't touch the tickets.
From the moment Gordon Ramsay arrived, it was obvious the restaurant suffered from fractured leadership. David, along with his co-owners Greg and Brian, couldn't agree on anything, and the lack of direction spilled straight into the kitchen.
Who the fuck put these letters on here?
I couldn't tell.
The dishes themselves were all over the place. Lobster rolls came out bland, chowder was greasy, and plates were unevenly cooked. But David rarely listened. Instead, he argued and dismissed complaints, like the time when he insisted the lobster should be sandy when the customer complained.
Hi. You had the clam bake, and there was a problem with the mussels or the steamers?
Both. They're terribly sandy.
Yeah, there should be sand in this here. There often is, and that's why you have the broth to dip them in. So what would you like instead of those?
Nothing. In fact, I'll just eat the lobster. I'm fine.
Okay, it'll be right out.
Mistakes kept piling up, and the staff didn't know who to listen to. The service was a mess as orders stalled, ingredients were mishandled, and every critique sparked defensiveness instead of action.
I don't know, Gordon.
Yeah, do you ever ask yourself that question?
I ask myself that question all the time.
I suppose you actually don't give a f***, you know that?
I do give a f***, and you know I give a f***.
You seem a very relaxed man with your restaurant.
What do you want me to do?
Even when Ramsay simplified the menu and tried to impose order, David resisted. Old habits returned almost immediately. His stubbornness and refusal to acknowledge mistakes frustrated staff and viewers alike. By the end of the episode, it was clear Black Pearl's biggest problem wasn't cooking, but the leadership.
Can you stop being a slippery eel for 15 minutes in front of your team and answer the fucking truth?
Gordon, the fucking truth is that I'm back there when it's busy every fucking night that I work.
But Gordon wasn't the only one who was fed up with David's attitude. Many viewers found it annoying, like this one who says, "I was glad when Gordon stood up to David in the end. David's behavior is appalling." After the show, Black Pearl closed just 4 days after the episode aired, unable to recover from the chaos and bad press. David and his co-owners publicly criticized Ramsay, claiming the changes hurt the business. David took things too far by saying, "Well, I hope Gordon meets an untimely death so that I can dance on his grave. It's time to move on." It seemed David did not just lack business skills, he lacked maturity as well. And this viewer didn't sugarcoat his words at all. He says, "David's more salty than all the oceans combined. Bro's still butthurt years after the show aired and his restaurant shut down." Unlike other owners who adapted, David doubled down on his choices. In the years since, he left the restaurant scene, focusing on music while his partners moved into other food roles. David Leonard didn't fail because he lacked skill. He flopped because he refused to change. His ego, not the recipes, sank the restaurant, cementing his place as one of the show's most hated owners. That kitchen owner may have lost it all quickly, but others find a way to earn back the respect even in the midst of chaos. Denise Whiting, owner of Cafe Hun in Baltimore, became one of Kitchen Nightmare's most talked about figures. Her cooking wasn't perfect, but she actually listened and changed when it mattered.
Cafe Hun hugs you when you get here. It's just food, family, and fun.
Cafe Hun had been a local landmark for decades, famous for its kitschy decor, pink flamingo motif, and the celebration of the city's nickname, Hun. By the time Gordon Ramsay arrived, the restaurant's biggest issue wasn't the food, it was the backlash from the community. The problem began when Denise decided to trademark the word Hun for merchandise like t-shirts and mugs. What she saw as a clever business move came across to locals as an attempt to own a piece of Baltimore culture. The community reacted strongly. Protests erupted, boycotts hit the restaurant, and media coverage painted Cafe Hun as a greedy, tone-deaf establishment. Staff morale dropped, Regulars stopped coming, and the restaurant's reputation suffered.
Legally, she has the standing, but she's not in the right. And that's what people recognize.
It's just about money for her. It's not about Hamden. It's not about anything. It's just money.
She pushes everyone around. She's focused on Denise Whiting, and if you don't like it, you're gonna be sorry.
He sticks the French fries.
About to redo everything.
Ramsey confronted Denise directly, taking her to a local radio station so she could hear residents' frustrations firsthand.
We got a big issue here. It's not me you have to convince, it's the city of Baltimore.
Ramsey was shocked to see a restaurant face such a huge issue rooted more in public backlash than the kitchen itself.
It's got that bad.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was afraid for my life.
I felt that threatened.
Yeah.
Instead of defending herself, Denise admitted that she had misread the situation and announced that she would give up the trademark, acknowledging that the word Hun belonged to the people.
I am so sorry for the animosity and the hatred and everything that trademarking a word, just a word, has done. Please forgive me.
Ramsey revamped the menus, simplified the decor, and encouraged Denise's staff to reconnect with the community spirit that had originally made Cafe Hun a Baltimore staple. Slowly, customers returned, drawn back by nostalgia and the sense that the restaurant had righted itself. Denise Whiting's story stands out because she didn't just fix the food. She rebuilt trust and repaired her relationship with the community. By owning her mistake and acting decisively, she turned a potentially catastrophic situation into a rare example of redemption on Kitchen Nightmares. Denise has had many viewers acknowledge that she made a mistake, yet the courage to accept the truth, with one viewer calling her the bester chef, and another saying, Cafe Hun was my favorite episode. I'm glad to see it actually having a happy ending. Yet for every owner who wins hearts, there's one who sparks frustration, and this next one proved that all too well. Michael Fernandez didn't become one of Kitchen Nightmare's most hated owners because he yelled the loudest. He became hated because he refused to listen at all. Michael owned Spanish Pavilion in Harrison, New Jersey, a once popular family restaurant that had slowly lost its spark. By the time Gordon Ramsay arrived, the dining room was empty. The menu was outdated, and customers had stopped coming back. But Michael didn't see a failing restaurant. He saw people disrespecting his vision.
Get out of here!
What pushed viewers over the edge was Michael's constant denial. Ramsay pointed out bland food, sloppy execution, and a kitchen stuck in the past. Michael argued with nearly every critique. Instead of asking how to fix things, he questioned Ramsay's opinions and brushed off problems as exaggerations.
If your grandfather sat on my table today, he'd be beating the crap out of you.
The biggest issue, though, wasn't Ramsay. It was Michael's relationship with his own brother, Jerry, who worked in the restaurant.
I want you to listen to me.
Jerry openly admitted things weren't working and backed Ramsay's criticisms. Michael took this personally. Rather than seeing Jerry as support, he treated him like opposition. Ramsay repeatedly warned that the restaurant couldn't survive if the owner refused to listen to the people closest to the problems.
I'm that person. Michael, you have table 7 over there, please? Did not go out. Give me 3 skirt steaks over there right away. Right here, 3, 1, 2, 3. Michael, support.
During service, the cracks widened, orders stalled, communication broke down, and Michael failed to take control. Ramsay told him directly that the Spanish Pavilion didn't just have a food problem, it had a leadership problem, and Michael didn't accept that.
Michael, come here. 2 seconds. You have to keep it together. He's your brother. You can't do that in front of the fucking team.
Viewers didn't hate Michael for struggling. They hated him because help was right in front of him, and he kept pushing it away. One viewer says it all in this comment. Michael the chef is incompetent and became lazy, complacent, and delusional. Like many others, another viewer definitely agreed with that perspective when he said, Michael's a nut. However, things took a different turn. Despite the chaos that once defined the kitchen, Spanish Pavilion did not shut down. Jerry began devoting more time to the restaurant, while Michael started working harder in the kitchen. The restaurant's still open to this day and remains owned by both Jerry and Michael. Yet even after the toughest episodes, some owners prove that teamwork and heart can turn it all around, just like Joe, Sam, and Kathy. Giuseppe's Trattoria in Macomb Township, Michigan wasn't a disaster because the food was irredeemable. It was a family operation teetering under tension. Joe and Kathy Giuseppe had opened the restaurant to give their son Sam a shot at running a place on his own. On paper, it was a dream come true, but in reality, miscommunication, ego clashes, and divided authority quickly turned the kitchen into a battleground.
Opened it with the expectations that we would put Sam on his feet, and Joe and I could just go to Florida or wherever, but it just hasn't worked out that way.
When Gordon Ramsay walked in, the problems were clear. Joe acted as the de facto authority but avoided responsibility. Sam hovered, excusing mistakes instead of fixing them, and Kathy was stuck in the middle, trying to please her husband and son while keeping service afloat.
I go get your son, because every time I try to explain, he's got to walk away.
Sam, did you walk off the line? No, it's a nightmare.
Dishes were inconsistent, timing fell apart, and the energy in the kitchen was more about family friction than good food. Ramsay immediately recognized the human problem. This wasn't a failing menu, but fractured leadership.
What the hell? Sam, get your ass out of there.
Instead of finger-pointing or shutting down, Ramsay encouraged the Giuseppes to see the bigger picture. They needed to work as a team, trust each other, and let Sam step into his role.
More importantly, if this restaurant's got a chance of survival, we've got to communicate and stick together tonight.
What followed was rare for Kitchen Nightmares, a genuine family reconciliation. Joe learned to step back, Kathy realized enabling wasn't helping, and Sam gained confidence. In the final dinner service, the trio executed a solid, smooth service for real customers, showcasing the improvements not just in food, but in communication and morale. Viewers rooted for them because the transformation felt heartwarming, not like a mere makeover.
Very nice. What a breath of fresh air. Every dish like that, yes?
Yes, sir.
Salmon, enjoy your meal.
2 salmon, 2 pork.
You got it.
For fans, the lesson wasn't about perfect risotto or plated perfection. It was the joy of seeing a family grow under pressure, owning up to mistakes, and proving that even in chaos, unity can create magic in the kitchen. That's why many viewers love this family in particular and how they fight as a team to make things work. Like this fan who says, "There are many emotional episodes in Kitchen Nightmares, but this in particular makes you genuinely cry." Another viewer supported this comment by saying, "These people truly deserved Gordon's help. They were simply lost in the shuffle." Even though Giuseppe's ultimately closed in July 2009, the episode remains memorable for that human element. The family's willingness to listen, adapt, and reconnect is what made them one of the most loved sets of owners in Kitchen Nightmares history.